Okay, looks like this will be our first episode for fall/winter. I think fall/winter is probably going to be the same season. It's probably going to slow down a bit because once it starts snowing and getting really cold, I won't be able to make it up here as much. So anyways, update. I went down and I got some rock. I harvested some rock, but this rock I harvested from Craigslist. A guy named Darby over there in Post Falls had this overage from a job he had done, and he hooked me up with it. Feel like I got a really good deal. Craigslist is always good for a good deal. So we got 10 rats, 10 of those guys. So I feel pretty good about that. We'll see how many are scurrying around in here tonight when I'm trying to sleep. It's the last week of October. It's probably going to be pretty cold. I got some blankets. We'll see if I freeze my ass off or not. But anyways, this is basically where we're at. Well, I got a good one for you. If you ever have to remodel a cabin like this, it's a good idea to get the stove done before the temperature starts cooling off, because I have no heat. It got down to about 35 outside last night, but the good news is it was only 37 in the cabin. So, there's that to be thankful for. There, you always got to look at the bright side. Yeah, it was 37 in here, which is pretty cold, 35 outside. But when I got up this morning to have my coffee, I was so acclimated that it actually felt nice outside at it was about 35, 38 degrees, somewhere in there. It wasn't that bad. So that's what I got now. I'm going to get back to you after I try to figure out what I'm going to do here. This is going to be a hat trick. I've got these boards here that I'm going to try to use as furring strips. What fur? To fur it out. Okay, so I got the piece cut for there. I got this piece here is just going to be a full sheet. Something's not too straight, either that board or... So we're off a little bit there, but that's not a big deal. That can be all fixed. Main problem is I left my drill at the dang house. So I'm going to get these pieces cut and kind of just visualize that. And I'm going to work on that now. So I got to get that box, the Dervent box. I got some tin snips now, so I'm going to see about getting it cut out. And it doesn't look like it's raining that bad, so I might get up on the roof and punch it through. And if that's the case, I can set it on rocks and have it ready to burn. Just set some rocks on there to set it on, and that way I can get everything set up. I got an adjustable pipe. I left my other adjustable pipe at the house. It seems like I leave a lot of stuff, but you just have to have the path of least resistance instead of driving an hour and a half to go down and get the right tool that I don't have I don't have here. I have it at the house, but it just is what it is. But there's my rocks. There's that, and I'm gonna probably come up to maybe about here, and then have a mantle that's gonna come out about 4 to 6 inches. Come all the way down. It's going to make a little, it's going to be nice and level, and it's going to be covered with rock, so I can set little tchotchkes on it, because everybody likes little tchotchkes. Maybe I'll get a raccoon with a fishing pole someday. Anyways, there you go. There you have it. That's where we're at. I'm going to get that thing out of the box and start tinkering with it. Okay, here we go to getting ready to cut this thing here. What I did was I went up top and I measured with a level and a square, the pitch, and it measured just under 7. So I calced it out and made my mark. You can see my first mark here, which got crossed out. So I calced it out, made my mark, made a template of that first mark, and it was a little bit off. So I adjusted the template, cut it, and that is, second line is the one I came up with. So the template, when held up on the ceiling against it, is showing level. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump in with both feet and cut it. Doing stuff like this, it's always best to, if you're hesitant or you don't know, or you kind of take a guesswork, is you guess on a piece of cardboard or scrap material and kind of do a test fit. And then if the test fit works, then you cut. So I'm about to cut. Hopefully it works. It may not. We don't know. But anyways, that's where we're at. So with the help of my template, I got this thing cut all nice and neat like it's supposed to be. That bend right there is kind of ugly, but that's going to be, you know, in the drop ceiling. You're not going to see that. I peeled back some insulation. And I always wondered why they didn't finish this area with, you know, their beautiful icing that they decided to put on the ceiling. And now I see why after all the stove stuff I've been through, researching and looking at all the information out there, is that's just completely wrong to do a single wall. So I got the triple wall. It looks like this trip wasn't a waste at all. I mean, I could have made it a lot further had I remembered to bring my drill of all things, but I found that this 24-inch pipe needs to get exchanged for maybe a 48 because it's just barely out. And, you know, after reading the instructions, you want it out up over the peak, and it's nowhere near over the peak. So we're going to go ahead and change that 24 for a 48. And I might clean up and just lay some rocks down to take a look at them. Maybe start cutting some to fit them. Again, I don't have my screw gun, so none of this can get screwed down. And, you know, the screw gun is like or screwdriver or drill or impact or whatever you want to call it these days. It's like the most important tool. I mean, it's like the last one you want to forget. I can't even put this stuff here up on the roof and get ready to punch through until I get my screw gun. So out of all the tools I forgot. Anyways, that's where we're at. I'm going to get cleaned up. I might chop down a tree as a side project. I might not, though. But I might. I might not. I might. We'll find out. I think I'm going to clean up here, lay down some rock just to get a look at it and maybe get a little video of that. Just kind of lay it out and see how it's going to fit. See how it looks like I've got enough to do a lot, and there's still a lot more outside. So we'll get back with you in just a minute. I'm going to turn this thing off and get to laying down some rock. Okay, there's kind of like a dry fit for the floor. You can see I can break up some smaller pieces for that gap there, maybe a small piece for there, but the rest of it looks like it's sufficient grout lines. I mean, there's some adjustments that could be made to tighten up some of the grout lines, but I think we're looking pretty good here. I mean, the amount of adjustments for this is just completely endless. But that's about what I'm looking for. So now I got to cut 1.5 inches all the way around to get the face on there. I might just go ahead and do that. We'll see. Maybe not, because of iteration. But it kind of put a dent in the material. Not. Looks like our material hardly moved. We may cut down a tree as a side project. Well, I made it this far with the tree. I'm guessing that's about right for it to fall somewhere over there. Looks like it's pretty straight. We're about to find out. Maybe I'll cut from this side, because that way if it goes this way, at least it'll be a slow fall because of these two trees. But yeah, this is going to be interesting. I'm thinking about setting the camera up. Pinch the saw. So she definitely wants to fall that way. I'll get a wedge and see if I can wedge it out. Man, that was exhilarating. I couldn't get the camera on quick enough, but I ended up getting the saw stuck. And it must have just been just enough leaning that way. So what I did was, the only thing I could do is I pounded some of these wedges I made. Pounded them in here like this to try to pull some weight off my chain. You can see the mark from the chainsaw. To try to pull some weight off my chainsaw. That didn't work. So then I got my strap out, my tow strap, and I connected it to my death trap jack from my truck. Thank God I had that. And just put a little pressure on it, and she fell right where I wanted her to. Now I get to cut it up. This is the fun part. All right, that's where we're at. I'm gonna cut some firewood right now. That was quite exhilarating. I really get a kick out of that. That was my first real tree that I felled. I mean, I've felled some small ones before, but that was the first real one. You know, I follow this old boy on YouTube, and he cuts down these big trees that make this thing look tiny. This is a walk in the park. He's got a huge chainsaw, modifies them and all that stuff. Anyways, I've been watching him. And main reason that keeps me going to his channel is he's always got these really cool old pickup trucks, and you know, I'm into old pickup trucks. And so anyways, he would get all excited and just amped up when he cut down a tree, jump up and down, and you know, you could just see it, the passion. And I thought, okay, cool, that's that guy's passion. But wow, it's either my passion too, or that's just the way it is, man. That was probably one of the most exciting things I've done in a while. Not quite death-defying, but I guess in my case it probably was, because I'm a novice, and everything I learned from this guy on YouTube, which I'm going to try to link his channel below if anybody wants to see how he cuts down trees. But he uses the wedges a lot, and I think I just got into the wedges too late. Well, it looks like I'm done for this trip here. Cut this bit here. It's a bit of work. Chainsaw's a little bit on the small side. It's only an 18-incher. Just a little guy, but we made it. So I did mention old trucks in this video. Now, I've got a fetish for old trucks. This is a second old crew cab. Mainly I'm into crew cabs. This is the second old crew cab I've had, and it's been a joy. First one was a 70 Ford 350, but this one's a pretty exotic truck. If you do want to hear about the truck, I would love to do a walk around and tell you all about it, but my buddy Josh over there at Days of Pain and Victory, he did a real good walk around video on it, and I'll try to link that in the description, like they say down below. I guess it's down below, wherever, in the description box.